Hello and welcome to another episode of Inside Out Smile. I'm your host Dr. Amber Q, and today I'd like to tell you a story about a man and a dog. Actually, it's a couple and their dog. They live beside me and they've lived here for years. And it's so interesting because they have this little small Maltese dog, a little white fluffy little thing. And often when I had my poodle, when I would walk past their house, this little Maltese fluff ball would come out barking. So it's a lovely fluffy little thing, so cute to look at, and yet so feisty. And so that would be whenever I was with my dog. Sometimes I'd bump into the chap, and sometimes I'd bump into him in the mornings, and then sometimes later on in the evenings or on weekends I'd bump into him and his partner or his wife, and they'd have this fluffy dog who was quite feisty, as I said. And it was really interesting because sadly, as you all know, my poodle passed away, and then the chap's Maltese dog passed away. Now, years on, chap's still there with his wife, and they have another little Maltese pup. It's probably not a puppy anymore. And it's so interesting because this Maltese does exactly the same thing that the previous Maltese used to do, which is yapping away when anyone goes past. Actually, I feel that it's not been as vocal recently, but maybe that's because I haven't seen them. In fact, there was a little rough collie today, little Sheltie, that went past their gate, and the little Maltese, I did hear the Maltese yapping away. So, I guess it is still the same. And it's funny because it looks like exactly the same dog, says the non-owner of a Maltese. So basically, lovely fluffy little thing, and just barking away, just yapping away. And of course one doesn't want to get nipped at, but it's so interesting to see this little dog behaving in the same way as the previous dog. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I feel that dog is almost is almost symbolic of life, because life can be lovely and fluffy and just looks so cute on the outside, but yet on the inside we can be yapping away or stressed out. And obviously these people that own this dog, they are quite elderly, and the dog has not been socialized properly. It's always on the lead when it's out, and that's why it's so kind of anti others. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think that, is life like a little fluffy Maltese dog who's not been socialized, he or she? I think that's true. I think it could be like that, because if you just look at the way people behave, some people just, they don't really know. They've not had those role models, so they don't know how to behave sort of with others, and they're really lovely people, but they just kind of snap at you because they've built those walls around them. And the other people who just, they're so concerned about the aesthetics, I guess, and yet the inside is kind of non-socialized, or people just don't know how to socialize, and they want to socialize but they don't know how to socialize. I don't know, I just feel that this is a metaphor, this story of this dog, because I only realized a while ago that, hey, this dog is behaving exactly as the other dog used to. And it took me a while to figure it out, just because I didn't have that much exposure to the dog, and quite frankly I didn't realise it was a different dog as well, because I hadn't seen the person for ages. And so it's so interesting, isn't it, that I still have the same sort of care when I'm coming across this dog. And it's just interesting that it's behaving in the same way, because it's following that same model. So when we do things that others have done before without realizing what's happening to us, which is obviously the dog can only do so much because it's living with its humans. But, you know, when humans don't realize, and they bring up children in the same sort of way that they've been brought up, and they don't realize that, I don't know, that maybe if they hadn't met, you know, I don't know, different types of people, or hadn't traveled, you know, they just grow up with a narrow-minded view and they snap at people. Am I making sense? You know, it's just, I just feel there's such a metaphor there for life. And yeah, so it's really, really kind of made me think. So I don't know, you know, everyone I feel is on a tight leash in life, because we all face challenges and we're all held back. I think many of us are held back from being who we want to be. And yeah, so that's just my little story time for today, with a little metaphor of this elderly chap who has he has a beautiful head of white hair, I have to say. His wife still has dark hair, and but the dog has dark eyes and lovely white fluffy coats. And it's interesting. So he kind of matches with both of them. But yeah, he or she is always just yapping away and straining at the leash. So it's really interesting, isn't it? That I feel that is a metaphor for life. What do you think? Do you think that people are like that, fluffy on the outside and just wanting to mix with others but not knowing how to do it? You know, some people can be awkward, some people can be ratty and they don't mean to be ratty, and some people can just be, you know, behaving badly and not realising why they are doing that. So yeah, that's the observation that I've made recently, and I just wanted to share that with everyone. So does that resonate with you at all? What are your thoughts? Until the next episode, let's all create connection and not just change lives, but save lives.